Hello students, now we will discuss an important relation which is known as the Lensmaker's formula for double convex lens. The formula which relates the focal length of a lens to its radius of curvature of the two surfaces and the refractive index of the material of the lens is known as Lensmaker's formula. It is given this name because this formula is used by the manufacturers to produce or design a lens of required focal length using a glass of given refractive index. In order to derive the formula, here we also have to use few sign conventions, which are all the distances are measured from the optical center of the lens, which is the central part of the lens. The distances measured in the direction of incident light are to be taken as positive, and those measured opposite to a direction of incident light are to be taken as negative. Assumptions: the object is a point object placed on the principal axis of the lens. Aperture of the lens is small. The incident ray and refracted rays make small angle with the principal axis so that the sine or the tangent of these angles can be taken equal to the angle themselves. That is, sine theta is equivalent to theta and tan theta is equivalent to theta. Last, the lens used is thin so that the distances measured from its surface, they can be taken equal to those measured from its optical center. Here in the figure, you can see a double convex lens with two refracting surfaces xp1y and xp2y. xp1y is the incident surface and xp2y is the emergent surface from where the light will come out. N1 is a refractive index of the rarer medium, N2 is a refractive index of the material of the lens. Here, an object O is placed in front of the incident surface xp1y of the lens. Now, in order to derive the lens maker's formula, we need to study the refraction from its first surface xp1y as well as second surface xp2y. Now, first surface xp1y is bulging out towards the rarer medium, so it is a convex spherical surface. So, if we suppose for the derivation that second surface xp2y of the lens is not existing, but the denser medium of refractive index n2 of the lens is extending up to the infinity, in that case, the rays of the light starting from the object, when they will strike at the point A, they will suffer refraction only at one time at the point A, such that the light rays going from rarer to the denser medium, they will bend towards the normal and they are going to strike at the point I1 on the principal axis. So I1 will be the image formed by the spherical surface xp1y for the object O. So if this is true, in this case, U will be the distance of the object from the pole of the surface xp1y. R1 is the radius of curvature of the surface xp1y, which is a distance from P1 to C1, and V1 is the distance of the image formed at the point I1 with respect to the point P1. We have already derived this relation for the refraction at convex spherical surface. So for this we can write down this formula directly, which will be N2 over V1 minus N1 over U equal to N2 minus N1 divided by R1. This will be our first equation. Here we have assumed that for derivation of this first equation, that the second surface xp2y is not existing but it is extending up to infinity. But we know that actually this is not the case. So when the light ray at the point A, it will suffer refraction towards the normal inside the denser medium, then it will go on moving forward and it will strike at the point B of the second spherical surface xp2y. So here light ray is going from denser to rarer medium. It will bend away from the normal. So it will suffer double refraction at the point B. First refraction at point A, second at the point B. So it will finally come to meet at the point I on the principal axis, which will be the actual and final image of the object O, which is the real image, which will be formed at the distance V from the pole P2 of the second spherical surface xp2y. Now, in this case, we can assume that the image I is formed for the second spherical surface xp2y by considering that a virtual object I1 was placed inside the denser medium of refractive index N2 for the second spherical surface xp2y, which means that if we go according to our assumption that our xp2y surface is not existing, but a denser medium of refractive index N2 is extending up to the infinity, in that case the point I1 will act as the virtual object for the surface xp2y, for which when the light coming from it will suffer refraction from the surface, it is going to finally strike at the point I, thereby forming a real and final image of the point object O. So in this case, if we derive the relation between the object distance v1, image distance v, and radius of curvature r2, this relation can be written as n1 over v minus n2 over v1 equal to n1 minus n2 divided by r2. This will be our second equation. While deriving these relations for 1 and 2, because pole P1 and P2 of the thin lens are there, so in this case, because we are using a very thin lens, so we have used the assumption that the distances measured from the surface, they are equal to those measured from the center of the lens C. So in this case, U is the distance from point C to O, V1 is the distance from C to I1, V is the distance from C to I, R1 is the distance from C to C1, and R2 is the distance from C to C2. Now if we add these two equations, in this case we will have n2 over v1 minus n1 over u plus n1 over v minus n2 over v1 equal to n2 minus n1 over r1 plus n1 minus n2 over r2. Here n2 over v1 and n2 over v1 get cancelled. So we are having n1 over v minus n1 over u equal to n2 minus n1 1 over r1 minus 1 over r2. Dividing throughout the equation with n1, we have 1 over v minus 1 over u equal to n2 minus n1 over n1 into 1 over r1 minus 1 over r2. This is one form of the desired equation, which we can also write as 1 by v minus 1 by u equal to n2 over n1 minus 1 into 1 over r1 minus 1 over r2, or 1 by v minus 1 by u equal to n minus 1 into 1 over r1 minus 1 over r2. So this is another form of the ecchoid equation. Now if you want to bring focal length over here, if we assume that our object is present at infinity, if object is at infinity, then u will be equal to infinity. So in this case, all the rays of light coming from infinity, they will be parallel to each other and to the principal axis, and when they will suffer refraction from the lens, they all converge at one point, that will be the principal focus of the double convex lens. So in that case, the image distance v, it will be equal to the focal length of the lens. So if we use these values of u and v in the above equation, we will have 1 by f minus 1 over infinity equal to n minus 1 over r1 minus 1 over r2, or 1 by f is equal to n minus 1 over r1 minus 1 over r2. So this is the required lens maker's formula, which is connecting the focal length of the lens with the radii of curvature of two surfaces r1 r2 with the refractive index of the material of the lens. At last, if we compare equation number 3 and equation number 4, we get the new formula 1 by f is equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. We take it as equation number 5. This equation is known as thin lens formula, which gives the relation between object distance u, image distance v, and the focal length of the lens. The equation number 4, 3 and 5, they are equally valid for the double concave lens also. So doesn't matter lens we are using is convex or concave, equation 3, 4 and 5, they are equally valid for both of the lens. Thank you.